You're watching Anderson County Sports TV.
Hello and welcome to Paris, Kentucky, home of the Bourbon County Colonels, where tonight the Anderson County Bearcats take on the 3-3 Bourbon County Colonels in a huge game. I'm Lanny Brannick, alongside the voice of the Bearcats, Keith Klink. Keith, this is a big district game. This could determine playoff spots, and it could be a barn burner.
Well, Lanny, it's been a long time since I've been to Bourbon County. We've been to Bourbon County. I've got some good Bourbon County stories to tell as we go through the game. But like Lanny said, this is the first game of the district. The rest of the games before this didn't mean anything. 2 weeks ago, the Cats won a hard-fought game over Lincoln County, 28-14. The Cats trailed until late in the game when Jagger Gillis hits Scrap Russell with a 10-yard touchdown pass. Gillis was 10 out of 17 for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zach Labbert led the Cats in rushing with 149 yards and had the clinching TD. Gillis also scored a rushing TD. Sam Harrod led the Cats in receiving with 71 yards and a 51-yard touchdown. Jackson Snyder had only 2 catches, but one of those was a huge fourth down reception where he made 8 yards out of nothing to keep the go-ahead drive alive. Gabe Clark kicked all the extra points. Defensively, Harrod made the play of the game with a leaping interception of a Lincoln pass, which led to the clinching touchdown. Labhart also had an interception off a tip ball, which sealed the game. Chase Fink, Labhart, and Gillis all led the Cats in tackles with 4. The Cats had their way with Bourbon in the scrimmage last year, but this is a different year with different players on the sideline. Bourbon is 3-3 and has a couple of really good running backs. The Cats had a week to rest and recover before the final stretch of the season. Hopefully they will start the district on the right foot. And Lanny found out that one of Bourbon's running backs is out. He's down there on the sideline on crutches. Bourbon won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. So the Bearcats will be receiving. We've got 32 Scrap Russell, 10 Zach Labhart, Sam Harrod, 29 Jackson Snyder, 27 looks like Nick Lindsay, 14 is Caleb Robinson, 7 is Ross Chapman, 40's Chase Barney, 62 Dylan Davis, 34 looks like 34 Landon Holt.
So the Bearcats haven't been in the same class as Bourbon County for a number of years.
It bounces back upfield, and Labhart has it, and he's down on the 22-yard line. Labhart and Russell both just stood there and watched it, and there's a Bourbon County player down, and Labhart got up slowly too.
Hate to have to remind high school kids that the ball is live on a kickoff.
Well, it looked like both Russell and Labhart were going to say, "Take it, I don't want it."
I'll tell you what, let's do. I know we just got underway with the broadcast, but they got a player down, and it looks somewhat serious. The player hasn't turned over. We're not sure. I didn't see what happened on the play.
He and Labhart ran in. What happened was he and Labhart ran into each other.
Yeah, it didn't look good. They've got him turned over now. Bourbon County is 3-3. They have not played the toughest competition. They have not played any 6A schools like the Bearcats have. So Bearcats have seen some stiff competition, whereas the Colonels have not. The Colonels have given up more points than they have scored. They've allowed 1,367 rushing yards this year and only gained 709. So we know that the Bearcats have a great deal of skill running the ball. So this may not set up well for the home Colonels.
Okay, and Anderson comes out. They've got Davis at center, Ryan Stratton, Blake Boudreau. There's the option play, and there goes Russell, and he's up to the 40-yard line for a first down. They had Jackson Snyder in there, Justin Derringer.
We've seen the Bearcats run some option and have some success with it. They didn't do well during the early part of the season getting to the edge. Maybe this is a night where they get something going in that direction.
Well, Anderson comes out in 5 wide.
You don't see that often.
Gillis is back. Looks left, turns around, looks right. Oh, they've got Russell wide open.
He dropped the ball.
And
what are they going to call there?
They could call it down. They could call it a fumble. Looks like they're calling him down. Gillis looked left, looked right, and Russell was wide open coming out of the backfield down on the 37-yard line of Bourbon County. 1st and 10 Bearcats. Anderson's run off 2 plays in a row that have had more than 20 yards. Trying to get the clock started. And nobody, there we go. Finally got the clock started.
Bourbon County graduated a Division I lineman last year. He's playing for EKU.
There goes Russell. There goes Russell through the left side. He shakes off a tackler, and he's out at about the 2-yard line. Yeah, they're calling him out at the 4. They faked Labhart up the middle and gave it to Russell, and there was a huge hole there. 1st and goal, Bearcats on the 4.
So far, the Bearcats looking like they can run the ball.
Anderson has Labhart and Russell flanking Gillis. 2 receivers to the far side. Bourbon looks like they're coming on the blitz. And Gillis is standing up into the end zone. 6-0 Bearcats in less than a minute.
Oh, we don't like to see that jump, you know.
Yeah.
Coach Peach.
Coach Peach got his heart in his throat.
Losing his mind over there. Don't jump. In case you have forgotten, we lost player last year, Zach Lappard, very early in the season to just a jump like that.
Caleb Robbins. No, let's see here. They've got Gabe Clark in to kick the point. And it's no good to the left. With 11 minutes and a second left, Anderson 6, Bourbon nothing.
We'll take a timeout. You're watching Anderson County Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Anderson County leads 6-0.
Clark kicks off, and there's Labhart. And Ross Chapman bring the Bourbon runner down right around the 20-yard line. It's the Anderson has Labhart, Fink, Derringer, Chapman, Gillis, Harrod, Russell. Yeah, they moved it back to the 23.
Keith, can we agree that Anderson County's defense has been pretty decent at times this year?
Been tough against the run.
Stout in the middle and good linebackers. This is Jake Broughton for the Colonels.
Anderson's in a 3 front, coming out here to the side. He shakes 2 tacklers, and that's a nice run down to the 46-yard line where he's brought down by Shalson Davis.
Catch was by Amirion Joyce, 6'1" senior.
He shook 2 tackles on the about the 27-yard line and got 20 more yards. It's something you don't see very often. Lanny Anderson just in a 3 front. They've got Boudreaux, Davis, and Derringer across the front. 5 linebackers and 3 defensive backs. There's an attempted rush to the outside, and there's the middle of Anderson's line there. There was Davis and others.
You're not going to get much purchase in there.
Second and 9. Bourbon puts wide to this side, 2 to the far side. Have a man in the slot. Man in motion. Resets. There's an attempted sweep to the far side. And there's nothing there.
Nope.
That was
it's tough to see out
that
here.
was Schaus. That was number 5, Zach Schaus. Might have gotten a yard.
That's Naquan Joyce on the run, 5'11" senior. Bourbon County without their best running back, and they've sort of been a running back by committee this year anyway.
Bourbon goes 4 wide, 3 to this side, 1 to the far side.
That was a false
Anderson
start.
looks like they might be coming. Let's see. Nope, everybody fell back, just rushing 3. They're going deep, and there's a big hit on the quarterback, and that ball's overthrown. That was Blake Boudreaux that got the hit on the quarterback, and Bourbon looks like they're going to punt. Got Russell back. And they're sending Austin Beasley back also. Bourbon just snuck somebody on the field. Okay, here comes Gillis. We've got timeout. Timeout Bourbon. 8:32 to go in the first quarter. Anderson 6, Bourbon nothing.
Miss Sylvia, this is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there.
Do what?
No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted
What
to
do you
open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Okay, Bourbon's ready to punt. Good snap. Nice high punt. Russell's backing off. Now he picks it up. And he slips down on the, well, I thought he slipped down on the 27, but we've got a block in the back on the 22. I thought he slipped down, but he must have caught his balance. But we've got a block in the back on the 22-yard line. Anderson will start on the 11. Blocking the back on Anderson, and they will start. Now let's see where they'll start. They hadn't marked the ball yet.
Well, Bearcats had a lot of success on that first possession.
Well, I'm surprised it was on the 19-yard line. I thought that block at the back was on about the 22.
Yeah, they keep walking back now. They had to get their spot right. Now they're going to walk it back.
Okay, it's on the 9-yard line where Anderson will start on the first and 10. Anderson splits two wides to this side. Two backs behind Gillis. Bourbon jumped.
Well, that's 5 free yards.
Be 1st and 5 for Anderson. Anderson looks like they might be changing the play. They changed the player.
Maybe take a shot here, Keith. 1st and 5.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, but you took out one of your receivers. They only have one wide, double tight.
Maybe the best receiver on the team is in the backfield, though.
And
he's going to be right there.
He's going to be right there. That was Russell. And first down Bearcats. Yeah.
Didn't even bother to measure there. I guess if they're on the 9 and now the ball's on the 20,
Well, Gillis faked Labhart into the line and handed it to Russell on a little delay, and Scrap got 11. Well, no, he didn't. He got 6. I do a little math here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my strong suit either, brother.
2 receivers to this side. Gillis keeps it on the option. And Gillis delivers a nice hit there. He comes up for the first down, a gain of 13.
I don't like to see them lower their heads like that. I mean, I understand they're trying to get extra yards, but that can be a dangerous play. And I'm just talking about kid safety. I know he's playing hard and not intentional.
1st and 10 Anderson on their own 33. Single back, wide each side. Man in the slot. Russell in motion. Gillis is rolling. He flips it out to Labhart. He's down the sideline to the 50 and out of bounds on the Bourbon 48-yard line. I think that was pass. Might have been supposed to have gone to the motion man, Russell, and wasn't anything there, and Gillis made a nice play.
Yeah, he just improvised. Nice play. Labhart runs hard. He's gotten a little better as the years gone on. He was coming off the knee injury, and as the months have gone on, he's gotten a little stronger, it looks like.
Anderson comes out the same formation. Except Russell's in the slot. He goes in motion. Here comes the option. They pitched it back to Russell. And, boy, he gets nailed.
Wow.
And we've got a flag. Must be this is probably going to be a face mask, which is going to neglect a really good play by Bourbon County.
Let's see what the White Hats have to say here. The
Personal foul, face mask
yep.
against Bourbon. Well, that's going to be a first down, but Anderson's going to lose yardage, even though it's going to be first down. Yeah, they're not going to have to move the chain much.
And
Anderson calls timeout. With 6:51 to go in the first. Anderson 6, Bourbon nothing.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Welcome back to Paris, Kentucky. 6:51 to go. Anderson County 6, Bourbon County nothing. Big hit from the Colonel linebacker on Scrap Russell, who actually could have thrown the ball and got an incompletion, but who knows to do that. But then a face mask negated all of that, and we're back where we started, 1st and 10 from the 48.
Anderson puts Russell in motion. Gillis is back. He's getting pressure. He's trying to get loose, and he's down. That's a loss of 5. Bourbon had everybody covered. I think he was looking for somebody to get rid of the ball. He's looking out here to Russell, but Bourbon had a man out there on Russell, so it's 2nd and 15.
Sophomore linebacker Cameron Smoot. Gillis just didn't think he was going to go down and didn't get rid of the ball. He had every opportunity to throw that ball away. Just didn't at that point. That's a tough thing to learn for a young quarterback or even an old quarterback. I watch the pros get sacked every week when they don't have to.
Anderson has 2 backs, 2 wides, both to this side. Gillis keeps it on the option, pitches it back to Russell. And there's the ball, and let's see who's got it. Bourbon's got it. Bourbon takes it on just inside the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 Colonels. That ball for a minute was bouncing around on somebody's back, and Anderson player dove in there, but I don't guess he got it.
Russell slow to get up here. Kind of looking down in disbelief that he lost the ball.
Lanny, I'm not sure he didn't get his bell rung a little bit.
I'd have to agree with that.
Okay, 1st and 10 Bourbon on the Anderson 49.
He's got his head up and did not come out of the game, so back to his safety spot.
Bourbon puts the receiver to this side, 2 to the far side. Anderson's in the 3 front again with 3 linebackers. There's a little counter play here. And there's a first down, and he's run out of bounds by Gillis and Beasley. But that's a first down on the Anderson 34 for Bourbon. Anderson had a real nice drive going. They gained 50 yards on that drive, and then
big turnover.
Sack and a turnover. Bourbon comes out the same formation, 2 wides to the far side, a slot and a wide this side.
Russell has put the ball on the ground a few times this year for sure.
Slip the slot. Anderson's chasing the runner back there, and he's brought down on the far side by Fink.
Yep. Boudreaux was over there, but that was all Fink. Good pursuit.
Well, it's hard to get the edge against 5 linebackers.
It's hard to get against the edge against this team. When Anderson goes with their athletic front, they're pretty solid.
Bourbon has 2 wides and a slot to this side, single receiver to the far side. There's a snap. Quarterback's rolling this way. He's being chased. There's a nice completion down on the 25-yard line. Quarterback rolled this way, and they had a man wide open. That was Schaus that knocked him out, and it's going to be 3rd and short. 3rd and 2.
As you saw on the replay there, nice catch. Yeah, folks, we're doing replay.
Bourbon's in the same formation. 2 receivers and a slot to this side. There's a run up the middle, and there's another Bourbon first down to the 15-yard line.
And that was Cameron Smoot there.
I think Anderson right here just switched to a 5 front.
Yeah, here comes
Mickelson and
Stratton.
Stratton.
And Mickelson, yep.
First and 10 for Bourbon on the Anderson 15.
Bourbon County taking its time here getting to the line.
And we got another timeout for Bourbon County with 4:07 to go in the first. Anderson 6, Bourbon threatening.
You're watching Anderson County football on Anderson County Sports TV.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Bourbon County threatening. They have the ball on the Anderson County 15-yard line, trailing 6-0.
Bourbon's got 2 backs. Oh, the fumble to snap, and Anderson's got it.
Boudreaux.
That was Boudreaux.
Well, the turnover gods are smiling.
That ball, Boudreaux was right there. The quarterback just didn't get down there to it.
We have number 20 on our roster is Clay Estes, who was in at quarterback.
Okay, 1st and 10 Bearcats on their own 21. Anderson puts a wide to the far side. They're in the eye. First time we've seen that this year. There's a handoff to Labhart, and he gets up to the 24. I was trying to see who the lead back in there was because that's the first time we've seen the eye this year.
I didn't catch who it was.
Well, I don't guess we'll find out, Lanny, because Russell's coming back in.
I think Bourbon County is about to go to a new quarterback.
Anderson puts 3 wides to the far side, 1 to this side. Man in motion. Gillis keeps it. Now he pitches it back to Russell, and that didn't work. That's a loss of 5.
I'm not sure what Russell is doing waiting on the ball back there. And Gillis, we've seen this play twice, and
it hadn't worked.
The Colonels have just covered Russell as if he's going to get the ball, and as soon as he does, he gets hit.
3rd and 12 for Anderson. Lanny, I noticed we had Jacob Castle, one of Anderson's injured players, is back after being out for a couple, 3 weeks. Anderson goes 5 wide. Looks like blitz. No, Bourbon backed off. Throwing. Oh, boy, I tell you what, there was a nice play there. There was this pass out there to Herod, and Bourbon was right on top of that. Gain of 3, but it's 4th and 9, and got Caleb Robinson back to punt.
Obvious punt situation.
Bourbon has twin receivers. Snap's a good one. Not much of a rush. Got a kick it to this side. And Fink's down there, and Fink and Herod bring him down on the Anderson 49-yard line. And Lanny, I felt a drop of rain.
I did. That was a Marion Joyce on the return. Colonel's a good field position here inside the inside Anderson territory on the 49-yard line. I don't want to explain too much, but there's a lot of expensive equipment sitting up here in the rain, or up on the top of the press box. So if it does begin to rain, you may see a little scramble.
Okay, Bourbon comes out. They've got trips to the far side, single receiver to this side.
Best field position of the night for the Colonels, to start a drive anyway.
There's a snap. Quarterback's back. That is almost intercepted by Russell. If the pass had been thrown low, I think Russell might have had that. The pass was just a little high, went off the receiver's hands.
It was steaming coming out of his hands.
Second and 10 for Bourbon.
2:07 to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 Bearcats in this big District 5 game. Bearcats in the top 15 in Class 4, and Colonels in the top 20.
Bourbon puts three receivers wide to the far side. Now the coach saying, the players are saying go one way, the coach says go the other. And we've got to delay a game because nobody knew where to go.
Bourbon County has a new quarterback, and his name is Clay Estes. Number 20, Clay Estes.
He's been in.
Yeah, well, this is a new quarterback. He hasn't been the starter all year. Bourbon County coach affirms. What happened to Mr. Broughton? Coach's decision.
Bourbon has two wides to this side, one to the far side. Man in the slot. Anderson's got 4 down linemen. Put a man in motion. Here comes jet sweep, and there's Labhart. That's a loss of 3. Labhart and Russell both. 3rd and 17.
Yeah, Justin Blankenship on the run there, just stuffed. Anderson County is not big on depth, but they do have some big fellas up front. They have a big defensive line, and at times they have a faster defensive line. Just depends on the situation.
Bourbon has 3 wides to this side, 1 wide to the far side. Direct snap to the quarterback. He's going out there to the side, and it's underthrown. They had a man out there open, Lanny, and it was underthrown.
Yeah, just not a good throw. There's a little bit of a breeze tonight, but I think that ball was just poorly thrown.
Derringer was back there, but like you said, it was a poor throw. Anderson once again has 2 receivers back there. This time it's Labhart and Russell. There's a snap. There's the punt. It's coming to Russell, who picks it up, laterals it to Labhart. Labhart's taking it up the sideline. All he's got to beat is the kicker. He's got a blocker out there. He's screened away. And touchdown, Labhart. I'll tell you what, Lanny. Austin Beasley made a good block on the 30-yard line to screen the kicker off. And that was a nice little play. Russell
It really was.
Russell waited till he was almost tackled and said, "Here, you take it. I don't want to get hit again."
Yeah, Russell was about to get run over. He throws the ball back to Labhart, but I don't know if that was a setup play or what, but it looked pretty good. I wonder if they go for two to get their missed PAT back.
No, they've got.
Looks like they've got the kicker
They've
out
got
there.
Clark in there. They've got Clark in there.
Not going to chase the points. 56 seconds here in the first quarter.
There's a snap, the kick, and this one is
looked
right
good.
through. 56 seconds to go in the first. Anderson 13, Bourbon nothing.
You're watching Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV. We'll be right back in a moment.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Bearcats, they lead here at Bourbon County on a Zach Labhart touchdown. Punt return.
80 yards. Okay, you have Clark kicking off. It's taken on the 9. He's got an alley there. He's come to the outside. He's missed. And Fitzpatrick's, and there's punt return, kickoff return. They had a nice alley. Bourbon County blocked that kickoff really well. They had a nice alley back on the 25-yard line, and the Bourbon County runner hit that, and he did really well going down the sideline, outran all the Anderson players down to the goal line.
So the Colonels answer immediately. 41 seconds. Didn't take long. 13-6 with the PAT to come.
Okay, here's the extra point. Little snaps a little high. And it's good with 41 seconds to go in the first quarter. Anderson 13, Bourbon 7.
You're watching Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127. Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
41 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Seems like it's taking forever, Keith.
Well, one of the Bourbon County coaches said we've had a 37-minute first quarter. We just had an 80-yard punt return and a 90-yard kickoff return.
It's been an exciting game for sure. Anderson County has so far won the battle in the trenches, but untimely turnover and just a couple of big losses.
There's a kick that's coming to this side, and it's out of bounds on the 20-yard line. Anderson will probably take the ball on the 35. Be first and 10.
So what has not worked so far is the option, Keith, and what has worked for the most part is the two-back set and just running the ball. I'm not sure if we'll see Coach Peach come back out in that option or not.
Well, Lanny, since I was here last, which has been several years ago, they've got a new press box here.
That's wonderful. It's really nice.
The old one we did games from the wing right outside the press box. Anderson comes out. They've got two wides to the far side, a slot and a wide here. Labhart goes in motion. Gillis fakes the pass to Labhart, and he comes up for 7 yards.
Nice run. Good decision, too. It may have been a designed run, but still a good decision there.
Lanny, I guess 1989, Anderson played Bourbon, and it started out as snow. It changed to sleet, and then it went to freezing rain, and the field was a mess.
Yeah, back then it was a real grass.
There's a handoff to Labhart, and he comes up for the first down.
We'll continue this story because I want to hear this.
And we moved our equipment inside, and there were three of us, and that's the end of the first quarter. Anderson 13, Bourbon 7.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back. All you missed was Labhart up the middle for about 17 to begin the second quarter here, Keith.
Anyway, like I said, we moved the equipment inside, but there wasn't room for the announcer, so we stayed outside, and whenever we wanted to cut, we'd beat on the wall of the press box. And when we wanted to go back on, we'd beat on the wall of the press box again.
Yeah, I was here. I'm a Bourbon County graduate. I don't even know if I should say that, but yeah, I was here in '89. And Anderson County and Bourbon County had a good rivalry for many years.
Anderson puts a man in motion. There's a reverse, and they haven't tackled Russell yet, but they got him now for about a 12-yard loss. Lanny, we're doing so much better just lining up and running straight up the middle opposed to.
I'm not sure what the
that's
thought process is.
That's
here.
A loss of 11, so that's second and 21. Bourbon's been right on those wide plays. The first couple went really well, and since then Bourbon has completely shut down the outside.
Labhart and Russell get the ball the majority of the time, and so Bourbon is just making sure that if Russell's going to get the ball, he has a hat on him.
Anderson has two wides. There's the handoff to Labhart, and he doesn't get 10 this time. He gets about 4. That's going to make it 3rd and 18.
So 10:22 to go here in the first half. Anderson County leads 13-7 in this District 5 game that has a huge impact on the playoffs. Anderson County 3rd and 18. We know Gillis can throw the ball.
Anderson's got trips to this side, one receiver to the far side. Gillis fakes to Herod. They're coming after him. He's running out of there up the middle. He's got the first down on the 26-yard line. Gillis ran right up the middle. I'll tell you what, a Bourbon County player, and this is one of the few times I've ever seen that a Bourbon County player plowed Zach Labhart.
Well, the payback came when Gillis plowed their DB.
1st and 10 Bearcats. That's a 25-yard run by Gillis.
Good decision there.
Anderson has one wide, double tight. There goes Labhart, spins once, spins twice, and has his legs taken out from under him on the 18-yard line.
Be close to a first down.
2nd and 2.
Like we were saying, Keith, I mean, when they line up and run the ball, they seem to do just fine. Felt another couple raindrops too. Now they're more than 1 or 2.
Anderson's same formation, double tight, 2 backs. There's the second back through, and that's Russell, and he takes it down to the 12 where it'll be 1st and 10 Anderson. That's a play we saw. That's a play we saw earlier in the game, Lanny, where they faked it to Labhart and then gave it to Russell, the second back through.
Starting to mist here at the football field here in Paris, Kentucky.
Anderson spreads Russell out. 2nd and 2. They've got a wide each side. There's nothing there for Labhart. And he lost 4.
Slow to get up to. That tackle was by number 24, Dylan Kirk. He's a defensive lineman, senior.
Can everyone please get off the high jump mats? Please get off the high jump mats.
2nd and 14 for Anderson. Anderson's back to 2 backs and a wide.
Question becomes now, does Anderson kick a field goal?
Oh, good play by Bourbon County again. They smothered Gillis back on the 20. That's going to make it 3rd and 18. And Anderson takes timeout with 7:21 to go in the first half, 13-7, Bearcats.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Okay, here we go. Third and 18 for Anderson. They go 5 wide. Gillis is getting pressure, rolls out of there, throws it, and it's an interception. And that's going to come back for a touchdown. Touchdown, Bourbon County. And we've got
celebration.
We've got celebration penalties here that'll be on the kickoff.
Well, Gillis finally made a decision that he couldn't take back.
Nope. That was a pass that should never have been thrown, actually.
Nope. No reason to make that throw. Sorry, folks, putting rain gear on. Apologize for covering up the screen there momentarily. That was a Marion Joyce on the interception and return for TD. Colonels have a chance here to take the lead. Joyce, when he got to the end zone, threw the ball up in the air. Just not a smart play. Hand it to the referee.
Now Bourbon will be kicking off from their 25. Okay, we got an extra point coming here. There's the snap.
We miss it.
And it's good.
That's good. Okay.
With 7:05 to go in the half. Bourbon 14, Anderson 13.
You're watching Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV. We'll be back in a moment.
Sylvia, this is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, Lanny, this is something I haven't ever seen in a long time. That's a straight-on kicker, and there's a pooch kick, and good. That was a good play by Bourbon because Anderson was spread way out, and that was a smart play by Jackson Snyder to cover that ball at midfield.
Yeah, Bourbon had a chance to get that if Snyder hadn't been paying attention.
Yeah, that was a good play by Bourbon.
Well, Bearcats start at midfield. They couldn't ask for much better field position than this after the Bourbon penalty for celebrating the interception return. We've had a kickoff return, a punt return, and now an interception return for touchdown.
Gillis was going out.
That's Joyce again on the pass breakup.
Out here for Ethan Burgess, who just coming back this week after being out for 3 weeks with a broken wrist, I believe. It's 2nd and 10 for Anderson.
Keith, they just can't seem to get on track here.
Very disjointed offense. There's handoff to Labhart up the middle. He makes a man miss, makes another man miss. He's going down the sideline, cuts it back, and he's tackled on the 9. That was a little delay to Labhart, and he took it from the 50 down to the 9.
Nice run, good blocking downfield.
Well, it's going to be goal to go on the 10.
No dumb penalties.
Lanny, it wouldn't surprise me to see us come out in the wishbone here.
Yeah, I don't. If they have their big lineup in there, that's what it'll be.
No. Going double tight. One wide. Anderson fumbles, and a lineman for Bourbon has picked it up.
And he
fumbles it. And I think Anderson might have it back.
Scrap Russell comes out with the ball. He has the football.
And we still don't. Anderson ball. Boy,
Wow.
Lanny, that's an alignment's dream. Pick up that fumble, but they got to learn. They got to know to go down.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Fumbling.
Yeah. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, fumbling.
Yeah, that was Dakota Smith.
Okay, 1st and 10 Anderson on the Bourbon 16.
After some excitement there.
Yeah.
They lost 6, lost the ball and got it back. Maybe lesson learned.
2 wide, Russell in motion. Gillis keeps it, fakes it to Russell, and I think there's a face mask there possibly.
Yeah, it looks like Bourbon's player knew it too. That'll be 1st and goal on
At the 8.
Yeah, it'll be half the distance. If it's
Well, now we got another flag back here.
Let's see what the White Hats say.
Anderson's backing up.
Oh, maybe it's a
Holding against Anderson.
Well, we've been wrong before,
And that's from the spot, which takes it back to the 32-yard line.
Wow. Just losing opportunity after opportunity here.
6:08 to go in the half. Anderson trails 14-13.
It's 1st and
A long way.
yeah, 1st and whatever it takes to get to it's 1st and 24.
Anderson puts a man in motion. There's Labhart up the middle. He cuts back. He's still going, and he's got a touchdown.
Labhart was very patient there.
Yes, he was. He waited for blocks and broke a couple tackles, and Lanny, that's play's worked all night.
Yeah,
that
it really
that
has.
delay up the middle has worked all night long.
Labhart did especially well there just to wait on his blocks.
Okay, we've got Clark in to try the point, and we've got a flags all over the
Illegal
procedure on Anderson. Boy, I tell you what, Lanny, if it's not one thing, it's another.
I know they cannot. They can't decline that. I think Bourbon would have happily declined that, taking the ball, but the play was dead. So we'll back up.
Back up to the 8.
And they're going to kick anyway. 5:46 to go. 19-14 with PAT to come. Bearcats on top.
We got another flag. No. I thought we had another flag. No, we don't. But the attempt's no good, and Anderson leads 19-14 with 5:46 to go in the first half.
You're watching Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV. We'll be right back. Wait, before we go, we want to talk about ID Roofing. They're owned by Todd Gravitt. You can reach them 502-699-ROOF. 502-699-ROOF. Gutters, skylights, anything you need for roofing and gutters, free estimates. 502-699-ROOF. That's Ideal Roofing.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Welcome back to Paris, Kentucky. 5:46 to go here in the first half. Bearcats 19, Colonels 14, and the kickoff coming.
That's Peters that was kicking off. It's taken on the 30. And he doesn't want to go down. He's tackled by Harrod and others up on the 38.
Well, Keith, it's been a game of special plays and special teams. Punt, kickoff, return, interception, return for touchdowns.
Bourbon has the ball on their own 39. They've got 5:37 to go in the first quarter, trailing 19-14. Man, it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't see another kicker for Anderson.
Yeah.
Next time, assuming they score again. Okay, Bourbon puts trips out here to this side. Single receiver to the far side. Anderson's back in the 3 front again. There's a snap. There's a draw play, and boom.
Nothing there whatsoever.
I think that was Boudreaux and Derringer in there. They were back there before the back got the ball. That's a loss of 3.
That looks very familiar. It just happens in the other jerseys all night. Be 2nd and 13, maybe 14.
Once again, Bourbon puts 3 wides to this side, 1 to the far side. Quarterback's going back. He fakes one way. Anderson's chasing him around, and there's a fumble. That was Fink and Russell. I don't know. Somebody knocked the ball loose back on the 30-yard line. That ball came flying forward.
That'll be another loss of another 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and
18 for Bourbon.
3rd and almost 20, I was going to say.
And Bourbon just changed quarterbacks again.
Yeah, they apparently their quarterback had a terrible week last week. Jake Broughton quit the team this week, and so Bourbon County is looking for a new quarterback.
2 wides to the far side, 1 to this side. Anderson's coming on the blitz. The quarterback's rolling. He's trying to get to the outside. He's coming out there, and it's incomplete, called out of bounds. Nice catch. That was a nice catch, but he was out of bounds.
Brings up 4th and 19.
That was a nice throw, nice catch.
Yeah, it was. Bourbon County's new quarterback is Justin Blankenship. He's a 5'9" senior.
Anderson has Russell back in single safety.
Carter Tipton back to punt for the Colonels.
Looks like Anderson's going to come with the rush this time.
Well, nothing would surprise me on a kickoff or punt return.
There's the snap. It's a little low. Almost got it. Here's the kick down there. Boy, Jiminy Christmas. I'll tell you what, Anderson had 2 players that tackled a Mercer player coming down. There's a hold, and that's down on the 17, and it's going to be back on the 9-yard line. And we are really lucky we didn't get a running into the kicker penalty.
The Bourbon coaches were screaming for a hold.
Well,
pretty obvious hold.
I don't know that it was a hold more than a tackle. I thought I'll tell you what, it was as bad. If they hadn't called that was going to be as bad as that non-pass interference last night in the NFL game.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I mean, my gracious.
It was probably not a play that would have changed the game, but well, Anderson with the worst field position they've had to start a possession.
Let's see here. Let's see. Ball rolled dead on the 17. Going to be back to the 9, where they've started from again. Well, no. There we go. There we go.
There we go. First
Ball
and 10 from the
9.
Yeah.
Anderson has 2 wides. Man in the slot. There's a counter play to Labhart, and he comes up to the 11. It's going to be second and 8.
3:20 to go here in the first half. You're watching Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV. Bearcats 19, Colonels 14 in this big District 5 game. Class 4A. I'm Lanny Brannick, Keith Klink, the voice of the Bearcats alongside. Road game tonight. Glad to be here.
It's a road for us, but home for you.
Yeah.
There's Labhart again up the middle, and he gets hit hard at the 15-yard line. That's going to make it 3rd and 4.
15-yard line. It's up there by 42.
Well, it's decision time. I think the Bearcats have 1 timeout.
1 timeout, yeah.
Do you just try to get a first down, or do you throw the ball looking for points here?
I think you're just trying to get a first down and see what happens. There's that second back through to Russell that's worked all night, and he's gotten to the outside, and he's to the 27-yard line. That fake to Labhart and the delay to Russell has worked well all night long.
Very good play there. Clock stops, 2:06 to go here in the first half.
With 1 timeout. Lanny, I think you might want to try and take a shot here, maybe. You're at.
I'm guessing Russell on a wheel route.
You're out of your own red zone. Anderson has 2 receivers in the slot. That's Labhart up the middle, and he gets it up to the 35. That's a gain of 7.
Moving the ball well here, Keith.
Minute 57 to go.
They have some time. It's not a big hurry yet.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency on the part of Gillis.
Anderson's double tight. There's a handoff again to Russell. He's trying to get it to the outside, runs over his own blocker, and he's still going. He's still going down to the 41-yard line. Nice run by Russell with 1:18 to go.
Clock stops while they reset the chains.
Yeah, that second back through's worked all night, Lanny.
Yes, it has. That was the same exact play. Bearcats come to the line. A little more urgency now. 1:10 and running here in the first half.
Anderson has 4 wides. Russell in motion. Hand off to Labhart, and he gains about 5.
Now's the time to take the timeout.
Now you either got to take a timeout or hurry.
Bearcats doing neither. They're going a little no huddle here. Nope.
Gillis comes with the play.
40 seconds and running here. 35 seconds of running.
There's that same play again, and they were waiting for that, and Anderson takes timeout with 21 seconds to go. It's basically 3rd and goal for Anderson.
As you saw on the replay there. We're going to keep it here during this timeout. We will talk about ideal roofing while we got a moment here. you can contact Todd Gravitt, who is the local contact for Ideal Roofing. 502-699-ROOF. 502-699-ROOF. Gutters, skylights, anything you need for your roof. Free estimates. Todd Gravitt, Ideal Roofing, 502-699-ROOF. So, Keith, 21 seconds and no timeouts.
You take 2 shots.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
You take 2 shots. I mean, if worst thing happens, Gillis gets sacked, you just let the clock run out.
Yep. Bourbon County has 1 timeout.
Okay, let's see what Anderson comes out with here. They've got 4 wide.
Labhart in the backfield. Russell in the slot.
Ooh, that ball was batted and almost. He was going for Russell, and Bourbon County player got their hand up on that. 16 seconds to go in the half.
Gills was showing his arm off a little bit there, wasn't he?
He did sling that one.
Brings up 4th and 7.
And Anderson's going to punt.
Not a big surprise there.
Not really.
I think they should kick it straight out of bounds.
Bourbon obviously does not believe this. There's a snap. And he pooched it down to the.
Oh, what a kick.
Down to the 5-yard line where Bourbon will take over 1st and 10, and I imagine all they'll do is take a knee.
That's about what I would think too. Really nice kick, or it worked out nice anyway.
Once again, the split the clock winning number tonight. 9, 8, 5, 7, 7.
Colonel's taking their time out there to come out and take a knee.
Also, the Army shooting shirts out in the crowd at halftime.
Of course, Lanny, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago? We thought that I think it was Henderson County take a knee, and that fellow ran for about 40 yards before he fumbled the ball. So,
oh, that's true. Looks like we got a little media coverage. Not sure who that is in the end zone, but some of the local media is here to cover the game. Fall down formation.
Yep. And that'll be the end of the first half. Anderson 19, Bourbon 14.
You're
on
watching
Anderson County Sports TV.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours, and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. I've played to win. If it looks like I've lost, the game isn't over.
Marching Colonels. They perform at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at Park County.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Welcome back to Paris, Kentucky. 19-14, Anderson County lead over the Bourbon County Colonels. Keith, the stats from the first half have to be crazy.
Well, they're pretty amazing, Lanny. Anderson has 15 first downs. Bourbon has 3. Anderson has 285 rushing yards. Bourbon has 10. Anderson has 44 yards passing. Bourbon has 34. Anderson has 329 yards total offense. Bourbon has 44.
That's crazy.
Jagger Gillis is 3 out of 6 with an interception for 44 yards. Scrap Russell has 171 yards rushing. Zach Labhart has 121 yards rushing and a touchdown. Russell's averaging 11.4 yards a carry. Labhart is averaging 8.5.
Russell lost 34 yards.
And Russell has lost 34 yards. So he's got a net 137. Labhart has a net 111.
Wow.
Another big story is there's been each team has turned the ball over twice. And Bourbon scored. Bourbon has not scored an offensive touchdown.
No.
They've got a punt return for a touchdown, an interception for a touchdown. So
a wild game. I mean, Anderson on paper should be leading 41-14, but they're not. The Bearcats have blown some opportunities.
Now the night, Lanny, I was talking about the night that it was snowing, sleeting, raining, everything else. Field was it was natural turf, and Travis Farley set the school record that night for rushing. He rushed for over 300 yards against Bourbon in a game that I think Anderson won 20-6 or something like that. Okay, we've got Clark kicking off. And it's not yet. He's got to pick it up. Anderson had him hemmed in. There's a flag down here on the 15-yard line, and that is Herod in there on the tackle. I think Bourbon's going to be starting from their own 7. My son Brian was playing in that game, and as soon as he got home from that game, we took his whole uniform outside, and I mean, it looked like one of those old deals where you see him beating it with rocks. We were beating it with brooms, trying to get his pants and jersey clean. Okay, Bourbon starts out from their own 7, 1st and 10. Trailing 19-14. They've got 2 wides to this side, 3 to the far side. Empty backfield. Anderson's rushing 4. Quarterback's back. Here comes quarterback draw. He escapes the first bunch, and he brings it up to the 25-yard line. And we've got another flag, and I've got a feeling that's a face mask on Anderson.
Yep. Right at the end of the play. Let's see what the call is here.
Face mask Anderson.
Yep.
That's going to take it from the 25 to the 40, so Bourbon's gained 33 yards in one play.
Yeah, that's pretty much matched their output for the first half.
They just brought it up 5 yards. It was inadvertent. Once again, Bourbon has 5 wide. Same play. Anderson stayed home this time for a gain of 1.
there, but 53. Boudreaux.
That was Boudreaux and Schaus on the tackle. No, I'm sorry, it's Boudreaux and Chapman. 2nd and 9. Bourbon puts a wide to each side. Quarterback's rolling. Derringer's after him. He's throwing a pass out there that's going to lose 2 yards.
Yeah, it didn't even look like a catch. We'll see on the replay here. Hard to tell.
Yeah.
So we've got our instant replay up and running. It's a new feature here on Anderson County Sports TV. We try to bring you the best broadcast possible.
3rd and 10. And Lanny, as B.J. Thomas said, the raindrops are falling on the head.
They are, yeah. Was that the 60s or the 70s, Clint?
That was 69. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Okay, got it.
Bourbon puts 3 receivers to this side, 2 to the far side. Quarterback draw. And he's up for the first down. Spun for the first down. That was Russell that tackled him up on the 42-yard line.
Nice play here by number 2, Justin Blankenship.
And Derringer was slow to get up there.
Yep.
I mean, Lanny, it looks like they're either going to, out of that empty backfield, it's either quarterback draw or pass. And Anderson didn't adjust to the quarterback draw that time. Now they've got, no, they're going to say they're stacking 4 to the far side. Now it's two to this side, 1 to the far side.
I'd make Blankenship throw one and someone catch one before I was very
going to find out.
Ooh.
He did throw one, and that was Labhart. That's a gain of, it's like a gain of 5.
Labhart just lays the wood here as you watch on the replay. Boom.
2nd and 5 for Bourbon.
All right, folks, just a fair warning. With 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, it is beginning to rain and the wind's picking up a little bit, and we might get a little weather situation here in the next bit.
Once again, Bourbon goes 5 wide. It's important for the up front rushers to stay in their lanes.
Blankenship on
and he's still loose. Russell brings him down on the 26-yard line.
So the Colonels come out with a completely different look on offense, and the Bearcats just not able to catch up yet.
They figured out that 5 wide with the quarterback back there one time, and the rest of the time there's been big holes there. 1st and 10 for Bourbon on the Anderson 27.
Anderson County may have changed personnel on defense here.
Yeah, it looks like we've gone to a 5 front here. We've got Ryan Stratton in on the middle. And Bourbon goes to 3 wides and a slot.
Stratton is a difficult individual to move.
And we've got timeout Bourbon with 8:06 to go in the third quarter. Anderson 19, Bourbon 14.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Welcome back to Paris, Kentucky. 8:06 to go here in the third quarter. Anderson County leading 19-14 over the Bourbon County Colonels in this District 5 matchup. couple of 4A teams ranked in the top 20.
There's a snap. Bourbon's quarterback's rolling this way. Still rolling. He's got somebody wide open in the end zone, and it's out of bounds.
Oh.
That was really close.
Let's see what we got in the replay, folks. Was he in? Can we do it again?
We'll let you know in a minute.
We're going to see one more replay here. Quarterback rolls left. Looking, carrying it loose. Throws it up 30 yards down the field. Oh, man, it's hard to say. Might have been a catch.
That was a catch.
The Bourbon coach is unhappy.
2nd and 10.
Might have been a catch, Keith.
Bourbon has 2 backs, 2 wides. There's a sweep to this side. Good blocking out there. He's gotten to the corner and he's run out on about the 15. No, the 25 rather. It's going to be 3rd and 7.
You got to think the Bourbon County players are sick over not getting that call just a second ago. What would have been a touchdown. 3rd and 7 on the 24-yard line. Bearcats in front, 19-14. Complete domination of the first half on the ground, but the scoreboard doesn't reflect it.
Okay, Bourbon shifts from the left side to the right, have trips to the far side, one to this side. See if we got a quarterback draw here. Nope, quarterback's going back. He's rolling to the far side, and it's well overthrown.
Yep.
That's going to make it 4th and 8 from the 24. Here, Landy needs that.
Now we have a decision here to make.
Got a flag on the play here.
Oh, let's sort this out. Official coming to make the call here.
It looks like it's Bourbon's back now. Well, it's 5 yards. Still, it's third. It's 3rd down.
It's going to be a legal procedure.
Yeah. 3rd and 12 for Bourbon.
Somebody lined up wrong. Well, this is not inside field goal range for many high school kickers.
No. Now, I'll tell you what. Next week, we will see one that Boyle County's kicker. I've been watching him since he was in the 6th grade. He was kicking 50-yard field goals in the 7th grade.
That's amazing.
Bourbon puts 2 wides to the far side, 1 to this side, run a draw, and it's down to the 25.
Stratton in there on part of that tackle.
There was Derringer and Stratton. It's 4th and 8.
So this is an interesting spot for Bourbon County. Obviously not going to punt inside the 30.
Let's see if they run that in. Yep, they've got that empty back. No, I thought they were going to run the empty backfield, but they're not. They've got a wide receiver to this side. Anderson's double covering their good receiver, number 3. Quarterback's back. Anderson's trying to get to him, and there's nobody home.
Just overthrown.
They had the right idea. The receiver had a step, but the pass was well overthrown. And Anderson will take over on the 20 on their own 26-yard line, 1st and 10.
Just significantly overthrown for Parker Estes. Bearcats once again have a chance to take control of this game a little bit.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. It's one of those they just need to do it. Now Anderson puts trips to this side, a single receiver to the far side. Gillis is back. And, almost picked off, and then it's caught over there on the far side by Harrod.
Let's take a look at this in replay.
That was that ball was deflected by the Bourbon County.
Should have been picked off.
by the Bourbon County defensive back, and that's a gain of 6 yards.
Austin Lay had the ball in his hands and watched it go through.
Anderson comes out in the same formation. Anderson puts a man in motion. There's Labhart picks his way right through the middle, and he's up to the 46-yard line where it's 1st and 10. Labhart hit that hole and just waited and popped right through there up to the 46.
Labhart's slow to get up there, but nice tackle by number 2 for the Colonels, Justin Blankenship. Otherwise, Labhart was looking at some open ground.
Lanny, I think it's starting to seriously rain here.
Keith, let's not talk about it. There's enough equipment up here to send a kid to college for a semester.
Anderson puts Russell in motion. There's the option. Gillis pops through there and gets into Bourbon County side of the 50. Looks like a gain of 4.
I like what the Bearcats are doing on this possession. This is not fancy. They're going downhill. They've kind of nixed the option a little bit. They've run the ball well all night. It's just when they've shot themselves in the foot that the Cats have had struggles.
2nd and 5. Double tight, 1 receiver. And Labhart loses a couple. That's going to make it 3rd and 6.
Colonels had that one well defensed there.
Yes, they did. A lot of our blockers were downfield. 3rd and 7 for Anderson.
Big play here, Keith. I mean, this is an important part of the game here. Bearcats get a touchdown here. They can begin to control the clock and the game.
Anderson goes 4 wide. Gillis is looking, and it's out of bounds. I can't tell who he was going for over there.
No flags.
We got flags?
No flags.
No flags. Okay. He was going for Jackson Snyder on the 30-yard line.
Bearcats in the punt formation, 5:04 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And Lanny, you got a pretty good crosswind.
Yep, right in the kicker's face.
Not much of a rush. Nice kick to the left-hand side that bounces out of bounds on the 15-yard line. Nice punt, 39 yards.
We'll take a short break here and we'll be right back on Anderson County Sports TV. Contact Todd Gravitt at 502-699-ROOF. 502-699-ROOF. Gutters, skylights, obviously roofing, shingles, etc. Free estimates, ideal roofing. Todd Gravitt, 502-699-ROOF. Call him up. Well, Keith, another chance for the Colonels here to get back in this game. Only down less than a touchdown. It's a 1-score game.
Bourbon has 2 wides to the far side, one to this side. Ball's 1st and 10 on the 15. Man in motion. Here comes a jet sweep this way. He's missed once, twice. He's still going. And there's going to be a touchdown. He was missed twice on the line of scrimmage, and we didn't have anybody that could catch him.
Here it is on replay. That's number 3 for the Colonels, Amarion Joyce. Just bad tackling there, Keith.
Yes, it was. I mean, we had him twice, And now here's where Bourbon, I would think Bourbon would be going for 2 here.
Yeah.
But they're not.
That's the same young man that had the interception.
The interception return, yeah.
What a play.
There's a snap. And it's good. Bourbon 21, Anderson 19 with 4:40 to go in the third quarter.
You're watching Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Bourbon County, anemic on offense in the first half, has come out in a fury and taken the lead 21-19 over the Anderson County Bearcats.
I was going to say, I'll be surprised if this kick goes long, and it doesn't. It's taken on the 25, and he's still going. That
nice field position.
That was a nice return by Austin Beasley.
Number 17, Beasley, yep. Fighting for yards. Those guys that don't get their hands on the ball all that often don't want to give it up, you know.
1st and 10, Anderson on their own 46-yard line, trailing by 2.
Well, Keith, the way the stats looked in the first half, it's impossible to think that Bearcats shouldn't be dominating this game, but here they find themselves trailing in the third quarter.
1st and 10 for Anderson. They've got 4 wide. There's a handoff to Labhart, and he maybe gets a yard.
Stuffed by number 72 there for the Colonels.
He doesn't even get that.
Ate him for lunch. That's Dakota Smith. They list him at 5'10", 190. I have a difficult time believing that. Well, that's been an effective play all night, so I wouldn't go away from it just yet.
Well, it's really been the effective play has been the delay.
Yeah.
And we've got timeout. Anderson, 3:42 to go in the third. Bourbon 21, Anderson 19.
We'll be right back on Anderson County Sports TV.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Welcome back. 3:42 to go here in the third quarter. Anderson County, 2nd and 10 on their own 46-yard line, trailing by 2, 21-19.
Double tight. There's that second man through, and Russell gets it up to the 50. It's going to make it 3rd and 6. Yeah, they're marking it 3rd and 5. It's just over the 50.
So Gillis has been fairly ineffective throwing the ball tonight.
Anderson goes 3 wides to this side, 1 to the far side. Oh, boy, I tell you what, that was to Snyder, who was open.
Cameraman didn't catch that one that time.
Snyder was open.
It
was overthrown just a hair.
Bearcats will punt here.
Deep. 13 Heffley, number 3, Joyce.
Got Robinson in to punt. Bourbon has 2 receivers back. And we've got illegal procedure against Anderson.
Punter looking incredulous, not sure what happened there. I didn't see it.
Well, the Bourbon players were pointing at Anderson as Anderson's line. I don't know if we flinched or we moved the ball or what we did.
Not sure. Anderson's done a good job punting the ball away from Bourbon's receivers for most of the night.
Got a return coming this way. He's got a wall, and he's liable to be gone. And there's a touchdown for Bourbon County.
Wow. Just another special teams
That's a special teams touchdown for Bourbon County. He got to the wall over here on the sideline, and boy, it was all over but the shouting. That's an 80-yard return for Bourbon.
So this is Keegan Heflin, 5'6", 150 pounds. Makes the score 27-19 in favor of the Colonels here.
There's a snap, and it's good. It's 2:39 to go in the third quarter. Bourbon 28, Anderson 19.
Let's take a look at the play if we can pull it up here. Oh, we didn't get it recorded. Well, like I said, folks, we're working on new technology tonight, trying to bring you the best broadcast we can, but missed that one. Anyway, that was as I say, they've done a good job of kicking it out of bounds. They don't kick it out of bounds, and it's a touchdown.
And maybe that's why they need to kick it out of bounds.
I think they do need to kick it out of bounds.
Punts, kickoffs.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We got Labhart and Russell back. And there's a line drive that is into the end zone. Anderson will take over on the 20-yard line. And we've got a flag on the play, and that's going to be that I'm not sure who that's going to be on.
The Bourbon coaches seem to think it's on the Bearcats.
I would think so. I think Anderson was on one of their players, and he wasn't letting him up. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Anderson.
Yep.
Well, Lanny, if it could go wrong tonight, it has.
It really has, and you know what? They had a great offensive performance for the most part in the first half. They just didn't score the points.
Okay, 2:38 to go in the game. Need 2 scores.
We're playing in a very light mist here. You can see it in the lights, but it's not entirely a soaked fest or anything like that.
Okay, that was unsportsmanlike both ways.
So here we go.
So here we go. 1st and 10 Bearcats on the 20.
Trailed by 9 here in the third quarter.
Gillis is back, and he threw it way high. He was going, I was trying to see who he was going to think was over there, but I don't think he was going for him. I think he was going for Beasley.
Yep, 17.
17.
This has not been Gillis' best night of the year.
No, it hasn't. 2nd and 10 for Anderson. Anderson goes 4 wide. Russell in motion. Oh! Gillis keeps the ball. He's running loose out there, and he's tackled, and he's down on the 22-yard line.
Gillis was looking for the pitch while he was being tackled. Not a good idea. He got 1 there. Maybe 2. He got 2.
3rd and 8. I thought Gillis had some running room there, and boy, the Bourbon County player came up and just nailed him.
I thought the running back was tackled. I did not see Gillis having the ball.
Yeah, he pulled it.
He did.
Anderson goes 4 wide. Oh, they've got the blitz on Gillis. He runs out of there, and it's incomplete. Up here for Beasley. And Anderson's going to have to punt again. Anderson's had 3 series this quarter, and every one of them's ended in a punt.
This is not the kind of start they wanted for the second half. No.
Well, actually, they got a good start. They had a good drive going, and it stalled out. Had to punt, and that was about it.
There's a pretty brisk wind blowing back into the Anderson County punter's face. The last punt was returned for a touchdown.
A nice high punt. It's taken on the 50 and knocked out of bounds on the Anderson 49-yard line by Zach Schaus. Bourbon will take over with 1:32 left in the third, ahead by 9.
And in Anderson County territory. This has been a lopsided third quarter, Keith.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been all Bourbon. Anderson's punted 3 times now. They took the opening kickoff and drove it into Bourbon territory, and the rest of the time just nothing.
Bourbon County sporting their pink tonight.
Okay, Anderson's in the 4-man front. Bourbon goes 2 wides to each side, man in the slot. And Bourbon calls timeout. They didn't have enough people on the field. 1:32 to go in the third quarter. Bourbon 28, Anderson 19.
Watching Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Bourbon County takes over at the 50-yard line, leading 28-19 over your Anderson County Bearcats, and with a chance to really take control of the game here.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier, Lanny, about Anderson having a chance to take control. Bourbon's the one that's taking control. There's a fake jet sweep, and the quarterback comes up for 9.
Yeah, Bourbon County's changed quarterbacks a couple different times tonight. The guy that just ran the ball is number 2, Justin Blankenship, and he is the speedier of the 2 quarterbacks.
That was Fink and Labhart on the tackle. Now they faked that jet sweep that time.
Yeah, the run up the middle by the quarterback has been pretty effective, I mean, honestly.
2nd and 4. There's a hand up the middle, and there's not much there. That's gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2.
That was Stratton.
Wonder if that'll be the last play of the quarter. Bourbon will go into the wind in the 4th quarter. Anderson will have the wind at their back. I wonder if that's making a difference. I mean, often it does in a football game.
Third and 4 for Bourbon.
Anderson has been outscored in this half 14-0 by the Colonels.
Bourbon's got 4 wides, 2 to each side. There's a high snap, and
dead.
We've got motion on Bourbon.
So
it's going to make it 3rd and 8.
4 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. And that will, 3rd and 9, looks like.
And that's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Bourbon's going to go with the 4th quarter ahead 28-19 over the Bearcats.
You're watching Bearcat football on Anderson County Sports TV.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
We also want to thank Ideal Roofing. Call Todd Gravitt at 502-699-ROOF. 502-699-ROOF. Gutters, roofing, skylights. If you want a free estimate, call Todd Gravitt, 502-699-ROOF. That's Ideal Roofing. Keith, we have a game we thought would look different. 19-14 at the half. Cats trail 28-19.
Bourbon's got 5 wide. There's a quarterback draw trying to get to the outside. That time he doesn't go anywhere. That's going to be 4th and 6 for Bourbon.
I think they punt, but maybe not. I mean, they're not running.
I don't see them putting in the punt team here.
Nope.
Unless their punter can, unless they can kick from short punt, or from the if they kick from the.
Boomer
from the
used
shotgun.
to do that sometimes. He would pooch punt in the old Sam Weish era.
They've gone 4 wide. And we've got delay of game. And Bourbon was going for it.
Yep.
I don't know if they will now on 4th and 9. Yep, now they're going to punt.
Yep. They just weren't organized there.
They were going for it. They were going to pass that ball. Got Russell and Labhart back.
Well, Bourbon now kicking into the wind, and Anderson County will have the wind at their back for the remainder of the game. 11 minutes and 10 seconds here in the 4th quarter in Paris, Kentucky. Bourbon County leading 28-19 over your Bearcats.
There's a snap. It's a little low. It's bobbled. And it's getting a great Bourbon County bounce down inside the 20-yard line to the, looks like 12-yard line. Lanny, if we'd had any kind of rush at all that time.
Yeah. I mean, just a bobble.
So Anderson's got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Down 2 scores. They need at least a touchdown and an extra point, a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal. But more likely 2 touchdowns. Rain is stopped for the moment.
And Anderson's come out in the wishbone.
They get their jumbo package out there, yep.
And there goes Russell. And he's still going. He's up to the 35-yard line.
Nice run there by Scrap Russell. Very nice run. Blocks, takes one tackler, got a face mask that wasn't called, and gets out to the 35-yard line.
Anderson's in the wishbone. There goes Labhart, makes a nice move, nice cutback move, and he gets 8.
Labhart has been very patient tonight. I've been impressed with his patience. Let's have a look at that one. Second and 2, maybe second and 3.
Second and 2 or 3. We're getting what we want here, Lanny. We're getting.
Ooh.
I'll tell you what, Lanny, we're getting what we want. Their linebackers are creeping up, and we're gonna throw a pass off this here in just a minute. I don't know if we're going to do it here or not, but I think we need to get the first down, but we're going to throw a pass off this here in just a minute.
3rd and 3 on the Bearcat 42. Crucial first down here.
There's a handoff to Labhart. There's a huge hole. He cuts it back and brings it up to the Bourbon 44 for the first down.
Great block there by the fullback and by Russell, who got out in front of the play.
1st and 10 for the Bearcats on the Bourbon 44.
Russell sometimes leads and sometimes follows. That time he was a lead blocker.
Now we've gone to the back to the spread. Man in motion. Gillis keeps it, pitches it to Russell, makes a move on the outside. And my goodness, I thought they had him for a 3-yard loss, and he got 5 yards.
They should have.
Matter of fact, he might have gotten more than that.
I think he got 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5 here in Bourbon territory at the 41-yard line.
Anderson's gone back to the wishbone.
But they had him dead to rights.
Good tackle there after a gain of 2. That was Labhart. That's going to make it 3rd and 4 for the Bearcats.
Blankenship on the tackle there for the Colonels. 8:15 and running here. The Colonels need 2 scores at least.
Yeah, Lanny, I think Anderson needs to show some haste here.
Yep.
Anderson goes back to the spread. Snaps a little high. Gillis is being rushed. He's getting to the outside. And he throws it away. Oh, and they're going to get a late hit on Bourbon.
The ball was almost picked off. I think Gillis was tackled out of bounds.
That's going to be a late hit on Bourbon.
We were following the action of the ball. I didn't see
he waved it off. I'll tell you what, if they waved that off, they were going to call grounding on Gillis.
Well, 4th and
Okay,
4.
Lanny, here's your play of the game right here.
Yes, it is. 4th and 4, 7:43 to go here in the fourth quarter. Anderson County trailing 28-19. And
Anderson calls timeout.
We'll be right back on Anderson County Sports TV. You're watching Bearcat football.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
It's crunch time here, Keith. 28-19. 4th and 4 to go here.
Yes, it is. Man in motion. There's Labhart up the middle on the draw play, and he's down the sideline, and he's in for the touchdown.
And he was tackled out of bounds in the back of the end zone. No call, no flag.
Anderson ran Labhart up the middle on just a straight dive play, and Bourbon was fooled completely.
Yeah, once he broke contain, nobody was going to catch him, and no one did. I don't like the tackle here at the end of the game, at the end of the play. I thought that was a flag.
Okay, we've got a big extra point coming up here, Lanny.
Yep, 28-25.
We don't have enough people out there.
This is not the time to burn a timeout.
And we burned our last time out. Okay, 7:32 to go in the ball game. Bourbon 28, Anderson 25.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
All right, Keith, PAT pending here, big PAT.
The thing about it is, Lanny, Anderson's burned all their timeouts.
I don't get it. I really don't.
Well, you didn't have enough people out there on the extra point team. Somebody didn't show up.
All right, we got 11 out there now, looks like. We get it.
And the kick is good with 7:32 to go in the ball game. Bourbon 28, Anderson 26.
Well, Keith, this has been one of those crazy nights. Just a seesaw back and forth action all night long. It's going to be an exciting 7 minutes, I think.
Well, it basically comes down to Anderson needs to stop them with no more than one first down because Anderson can't stop the clock.
No, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I used to throw things at my television when Marvin Lewis was trying to do clock management, so this looks similar.
Yeah, like I said, you're gonna have to stop them with not more than one first down.
Special teams has been a wild card tonight. Bourbon County has a...
Okay, well, let's see here. It looks like
New kicker. Unlike a punt, you can't kick a kickoff out of bounds.
We usually don't kick off from the hash. I'm not sure what we're doing here. I don't think it's going deep.
Pooch kick.
There's a poocher. It was touched. I think it was. Nope, apparently not. I thought it was touched, but it wasn't. And Bourbon will take over on the 35.
First and 10, 35.
Let's see if which defensive linemen are in.
Well,
the game.
we're going to be in the three. We're going to be in the three front again. It looks like. No, the four. We've got. We've got Clinton Hunley in there, 77, who hadn't played a lot this year, and he's in here playing defensive tackle. Bourbon puts two receivers wide to the far side, one to this side. They've got two backs back there with the quarterback now. Now they're moving a man up to the slot. And there's the quarterback draw, and there's nothing there.
Blankenship on the carry.
Blankenship on the carry there, and he's stuffed.
That was Boudreaux and others in there on the tackle.
No gain. Stuffed, stacked, and double packed right there. .6:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. Anderson trails by 2.
Bourbon's got 3 wides. Boy, that snap came back there like a balloon, and that running back paid for that. That was the middle of Anderson's line in there. That was Labhart and Derringer. Boy, Lanny, that snap just floated back there.
Yeah, the Bourbon snapper's been like that all night. Just not enough steam on the snap at all. It's 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 for Bourbon.
Bourbon's shown really no ability to throw the ball. Maybe 1 or 2 receptions on the night.
Bourbon puts 2 receivers to this side, 1 to the far side, and we got delay of game again.
Well, that's a huge penalty.
3rd and 15.
3rd and 10, you maybe run the ball if you're a heavy run team. 3rd and 15, almost impossible. Screen pass, maybe something like that. But Anderson has a pretty high probability of getting the ball back here with under 5 minutes, or more than 5 minutes to go, I should say.
Bourbon puts 2 receivers to this side, 1 to the far side. Anderson's trying to get a rush on, Fink's after him, and he's got him back on the 19-yard line.
Wow. Just great pressure.
Boy, Fink was back.
Great pursuit.
Fink was back there on him. That's a big loss for Bourbon.
Their quarterback, number 2, comes up limping, trying to get off the field now. That's Justin Blankenship.
Number 44, Fink.
So Anderson will get the ball back here with about 5 minutes to go.
Looks like Anderson's coming with the rush here.
Yeah, 1.
Almost got it. Boy, he comes out there with a nice punt.
Into the wind.
And bounces out on the 35-yard line. That's about a 46-yard punt.
That's a heck of a punt in that situation.
Anderson looks like they're going to get it on their own 37-yard line with 4:57 to go.
Well, you think we see the bone here, Keith, or?
It wouldn't surprise me.
We're just trying to run it down there and get 6 and get out of here.
Yeah.
It sounds simple, doesn't it?
Well, the thing, even if they go to the bone, they're going to have to show some urgency, and they're not. They're coming out here with 4 wide.
So the Bearcats have 4 minutes and 57 seconds to get a field goal or a touchdown.
Oh, they've got Harrod out there wide open. He's got it. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10, and down to the 5-yard line. They ran Harrod on a go route,
Huge
and
play.
he just ran right by the Bourbon County secondary. Down to the 4-yard line.
Here we go. We look at it again. Gillis goes back. Harrod just wide open. Catches it right there at the 30. Runs down to the 10 and gets a couple extra yards.
They put the ball on the 5, Lanny, and we've got the bone package in.
So Jumbo up front.
There's a handoff to Russell. He cuts it back, and he's in for the touchdown.
So a huge comeback here in the fourth quarter.
Lanny, the Bearcats need to go for 2 here.
Yeah, 32-28.
Yeah, you need to go for 2 here. At least you're going to do is you're going to make them kick the extra point to beat you.
No reason to not go for 2.
You got to go for 2 here.
So a huge flip in the script here in the fourth quarter.
Let's see what Anderson comes up with on his 2-point conversion.
Bourbon trailed 19-14 and a half, came back, scored 14 unanswered points, and then Anderson has now scored 2 consecutive touchdowns.
There's a hand to Gillis, keeps it on the option. He's in for the 2-point conversion. 34-28, 4:41 to go in the ball game.
And the small contingency of Anderson County fans has a big roar over there. What a game.
Well, it just seems like, okay, Anderson decides, okay, we're going to play now.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, the last 2 drives, I mean, Anderson just gone through just practically no opposition at all.
All right, we want to talk about Ideal Roofing here just one last time. If you need roofing of any kind, call Todd Gravitt, 502-699-ROOF. Gutters, skylights, any kind of roofing, shingles, etc. Free estimates. Call Ideal Roofing, Todd Gravitt, 502-699-ROOF. All right, 34-28.
Okay, in the space of about 2 minutes, Anderson's retaking the lead, 34-28.
Ball comes off the tee there. Now they have it right.
Clark kicking off for Anderson.
Kicking with the wind, I should say.
It's a squibber again. And this time it doesn't go out of bounds. And he's getting to the outside. Russell's got to get him. And he does, and there's a flag.
They're going to call a horse collar on Russell. And then there's extracurriculars after the play. Russell gets knocked down. So Bourbon is going to have the ball.
Bourbon's going to have, I don't know how many flags there were. Bourbon's going to have it.
First and goal on maybe the 5 or the 10.
It's going to be inside the 10 on the horse collar. It's going to be half the distance to the goal line. On the, let's see, it's on the
just broke out of the
it's on the 17 yard. It's going 17-yard line. It'll be on the 8.5.
Russell ran him down, and yeah, they called a penalty there. I don't know if he had the back of his jersey or
they called horse collar.
This is the wildest game I've seen in a while, my man.
It's strange. I don't understand why Anderson kicked to him. I mean, even kicked in the area. Okay, let's see. Bourbon's got one wide.
They're in the bone, or
no,
not a bone. Wow.
Quarterback's keeping it on the, and he's in for the touchdown. Wow. Okay, well, Bourbon said foot. We'll score in 20 seconds.
Yeah. So this becomes a huge extra point. Just too easy right there, Keith.
Oh yeah, they ran that quarterback draw and
a little juke and a slide, and
yep.
He was in.
Okay, got a big extra point coming here. There's a snap.
It's good.
And it's good. 4:21 to go in the game. Bourbon 35, Anderson 34.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We got a flag. We got a flag way up here on about the 30-yard line. Let's see what that is.
That's got to be unsportsmanlike, doesn't it?
This game, who knows? Okay, the officials are talking here. We got a penalty on somebody up here. But this is a needless penalty. Whoever it's on, it was completely on the other side of where the play went. Personal foul, Bourbon County. So that's going to give Anderson the ball on about the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Oh, must have been offsetting penalties. Okay, so Anderson has the ball on the 19 with 4:10 to go in the game. Anderson goes 4 wide. Gillis is back. He's going across the middle to Russell, who makes a great catch on the 50-yard line. What a catch by Scrap Russell.
Incredible play there. Goes up and brings it down.
Okay, Anderson's going to the bone now.
4:01 to go, trailing by 1, 35-34. Here in the 4th quarter in this huge district game.
Anderson's in the bone. Bourbon's creeping up. There's a sweep to Russell. He cuts through there and takes it down to the 30.
The 42 or
40, 44.
Let's see, will they mark it here?
Marking it on the 44, be 2nd and 4.
No urgency for the Bearcats.
3:20 to go in the game. No timeouts. Anderson goes to 4 wide.
Here over 3 minutes to go here.
Oh, boy, Labhart is nailed. That's a loss of a couple. That makes it 3rd and 7.
Bearcats need to hustle here.
Got a big play coming here.
3rd and 4.
2.5 minutes to go. Anderson goes 4 wide. Gillis is back. He's getting pressure. He stops. He cuts it back. He's running out of there. And he's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be less. It's going to be 4th and a yard with less than 2 minutes to go.
No timeouts.
No timeouts. Anderson's going to come out in the bone.
Well, here's your play of the game, Keith.
Anderson needs to hurry here. I mean, there's no bones about it here, Lanny, as they say. Gillis has got the first. Yeah, Gillis has got the first down.
He gets 4 yards, in fact.
Now we need to get up. We need to get up and hurry.
Clock will stop while the chains are reset. Minute 37 to go and running here. Bearcats get the play. They come to the line.
Minute and a half to go. Thing about it is you can't take a sack. You got to throw it away if nothing else. Anderson has a man wide open in the middle and it's dropped.
Beasley drops the ball.
That should have been a catch down on the 30-yard line. Got a minute 18 to go.
It'll be second and
10. Anderson's in the same formation. Man in motion. There's Labhart. He's gone to the outside, and he's run out of bounds. He's got the first down with a minute 10 seconds to go.
Labhart was gesturing to the official that he was pushed out. He was pushed all the way onto the track, so no flags.
1st and 10 Bearcats on the 26.
Labhart is gassed. Walks his way back to the huddle. Clock is stopped.
Anderson has 3 wides to the far side. Gillis is back. He's coming across the middle.
Picked off.
Oh, no.
Dropped.
And we've got a flag on the play here. He was going for Fink across the middle.
An Anderson player is slow to get up there.
And yeah, they're saying personal foul on Bourbon. And that's going to take it down. I'm not well. Let's see where they're taking it down to. I'm not sure where it was.
Apologies for the technical difficulties, folks. It's windy up here, and we're running off internet signal. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Anderson has it 1st and 10 on the 14. They can run this ball here. There's Labhart, and they did. And he's down to the 12. Less than a minute to go.
Yep.
That was a gain of 2.
I think they got to throw the ball here.
Well, you still got time to run it.
40 seconds.
Gillis is looking. He
takes a sack.
Fumble. He fumbled the ball. No. Bourbon's ball.
My goodness.
And that's going to be your old ball game there.
Gillis is helped up off the field. The player that made the fumble recovery hobbling off the field.
And like I say, there's your ball game. All Bourbon's got to do is take a knee, and it's over.
What a crazy ending. We said that Gillis could not take a sack, and he did. We talked about that. Could not take a sack. Bourbon may have called a timeout. Nope. Here they come.
I mean, all they got to do is take a knee, and this ball game's over.
Well, this will be a bitter loss.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. There was a lot about that last play I didn't understand, but that's. And Bourbon takes a knee, and that's your ball game. Final score, Bourbon 35, Anderson 34. And we'll be back in a little bit.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Hurricane Bay Car Wash, voted once again the best car wash in Anderson County. Hurricane Bay Car Wash, open 24 hours and located right next door to Wendy's on Highway 127 South.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Today's game is brought to you by Century Bank. Anderson County is where our heart is. Century Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127. You're watching Anderson County Sports TV.
Well, Keith, a bitter loss here tonight, 35-34 in this huge district game, and what a seesaw game it was. I've seen a lot of football games, and that was one of the crazier ones I've ever seen.
Well, Bourbon did not have a sustained drive.
No.
The whole night, every play they scored on was a big play, whether it was an interception, run a reverse for a touchdown, kickoffs for touchdowns,
punt return
for touchdown, and Anderson just kept shooting themselves in the foot. I mean,
yeah.
that's about all you can say.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at just the basic stats, 34-35 Bourbon, but Anderson had 23 first downs, Bourbon 7. Anderson 52 rushes for 343 yards, Bourbon 25 for 163. Nothing wrong with 163 yards rushing, but
80 of them were on one play.
68 rushes for 482 yards, or 68 offensive plays for 482 yards for Anderson, 35 for 201 for Bourbon. On paper, Anderson should have won this game.
Well, and the thing about it was, if you look at it, Lanny, Anderson had half the production in the second half that they had in the first half.
Yeah. They had a bad third quarter into the win, and then the fourth quarter was better, but they just
I
gave up one bad play there.
I don't understand why in the world they kicked it deep.
I don't know.
Don't understand why in the world, but they did. Next week, Anderson gets Boyle County, who might be one of the best teams, not only in the best team in 4A, but might be one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, that's an uphill climb.
Yes, it is senior. It is senior night. We've got, I think, 12 or 13 seniors. So come out and support these Bearcats. Once again, final score: Bourbon 35, Anderson 34. For Anderson County Sports TV, good night.